Hey everyone, it is me, C, back here with another video. I know this isn't my typical foray of content, as you may know me for, but I thought considering that Splatoon 3 is coming out, and Splatoon is one of my favorite series of all time, that I thought I'd make some videos kind of hyping up and getting ready for the eventual release of the third game in the franchise. So, if you guys like what I do and want to see more, of course, feel free to subscribe. It will let me know if you guys want to also see more Splatoon content in the future. And I hope you guys do want to see more in the future, because this is a game I am very passionate about and want to talk more about in the future. So, let your voices be heard by me. Anyways, so today I thought I'd be doing a little tips and tricks video. So, nothing too crazy, nothing you're not too used to. Plus, it also gives me a chance to try out this new audio setup. So if you guys do hear static in the back, it is because my microphone is not the best. So there will be an investment for a new microphone soon. So I do apologize in advance if you guys do hear the static in the background. I hope it's not too bad, but you guys will be the judge of that. But, like I said before, this is going to be a tips and tricks video on some things you guys should know to get you guys a very fresh start in Splatoon 3. So, if you guys have any other tips as well, besides what I have to say, feel free to comment down below. All these tips are just my opinions and my opinions alone. So, don't take them for, complete word that you have to follow these. So, without further ado, let's get started with my 5 tips that I think will give you guys a fresh start with Splatoon 3. So for our first tip, we're gonna head straight over here by my favorite squid sister, Miss Marie. So this is the story mode area of Splatoon 2, the current game, most modern game that's out right now. And my biggest tip for you guys, tip number 1 is play the story mode. The story mode is really, really good for getting new players accustomed to the controls and just helping them adjust to the camera, because I know a lot of people have come to me asking, do you prefer stick or motion? My personal opinion is just stick, but that's how I play. And I've heard from some competitive players that the motion in this game is not exactly 100% the best and could also be better. So this is a great way to get yourself accustomed to the controls and learn some unique strategies as well that you can use as well when you are doing multiplayer. It is not just in single player mode. So nice. Everything translates over to multiplayer, which is, I think, really, really great. So this was recently confirmed that I found out, as I guess to my attention. So in Splatoon 2, it introduced more weapons than just the hero shot to use, which I will go over to you right now. So this is the hero shot. So in Splatoon 2, it introduced more hero weapons for you to use that you can complete the stages with. And if you complete the stages with all of them, you get special rewards for doing so, like getting them for online battles, which are just mainly skins. So if you just like the cosmetics, then there you go. But it's also a great way to test out these new weapons as well and see, hey, maybe I like shooters, maybe I like dualies, maybe I like brushes. I'm not a brush main. I just for some reason had the brush on when I was doing this. I guess I was practicing with the brush and motion controls or something. That sounds kind of right. That's really all I recall. So yeah, I'm not really an Octobrush main. So this is also a great way to learn some strats for each weapon, because some weapons play differently than others. Like for example, with the blaster, there is what we call the dolphin maneuver, like that. That is a great tactic that you'll probably learn in the hero mode, and it can help you even in multiplayer. It is not just for single player, like I've said before. And it's also, again, a great place to just learn about new weapons and just see what you might be interested in. So don't worry about that. Let me go back to my Octobrush, because I like the Octobrush for some reason right now. I just think it's cool. And also, once you complete the main campaign of the game, you get some free gear that you can use in online battles, which is also really, really good. And I will talk about gear in the next tip. So, for our next tip, we are going to be going into our shops of the game. So, my second tip for all of you is buy every piece of gear in the stores. So everything you see here, buy it. I don't care. Buy it. Spend your life savings on it. Purchase it. And I have a very, 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 very good reason for that. So, I'm not telling you to spend your money for a bad reason, though sometimes I am subjective to impulse purchases, as some of you may know. So, let's not talk about that. So, the reason why you want to purchase every single piece of gear you see is because gear is very important, especially if you main in several weapons like I do. So you gotta have several kind of loadouts, which is, again, very important. I did not want to do that, but who cares? Let's go to the clothes shop because, you know, change the scenery every once in a while. So buying everything in the stock for the day will give you more options in terms of abilities, because as you can see, each piece of gear has a main ability. Like, this shirt right here has run and speed up, this one has special power up, this one has bomb defense up DX. It's just to name a few. These abilities will greatly enhance your capabilities in battle, and it is very important to have a good mixture of abilities as well, because some abilities work better with different weapons, and you want to be able to get the edge on your opponent. So it is important to have many abilities and use lots of different type of gear for that. And make sure to also check back daily for a fresh stock of gear to keep adding to your collection, because if you have a big collection, like, well, let me show you the big collection I have here. So let's look at my shirts. Yeah, you see all that? That is just all my shirts that I own in this game. So, yeah, having a lot of pieces of gear with different abilities on them is very important, just so, hey, if you want to use a certain weapon and they prefer certain abilities, you could probably look in your collection and be like, hey, I have something that could work for this weapon or this weapon, etc., etc. So, that is also why it is very good to do that. And again, always make sure to check back daily because there will be a new stock every day. So, that is very good. You can also purchase some gear from Inklings you see around in the town, but they are at a premium price, which is about double what they normally cost. So only really do that if it's a piece of gear you absolutely positively want, like you think it's cool or the ability they have is cool. So, and I guess you could kind of say yes to it, but if you're just starting out, I just say stay away from that until you accumulate some money, which is not very hard to do in this game at all. So for our third tip, we're going to be going into Ammo Nights, run by Mr. Sheldon, not Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. For our third tip, which is using the weapon test feature. You might be asking, what is the weapon test feature? Well, when you're in the shop, you can press the Y button and test the weapon. And this will take you to a special area, if the game would like to load, where you can just test weapon out. Like what I'm doing here with this Splatoon. This is a great place to figure out, hey, maybe I want to use this weapon, maybe I don't want to use this weapon. Get a feel for the kits and all that fun stuff. Because it is very, very important to do that before you make a purchase. I know in Splatoon 3, they kind of changed how we purchase weapons, so it is even more of a necessity that you try out weapons in here first before you select and purchase them, because, well, I don't know if we're gonna have a infinite amount of Sheldon licenses or they're a finite amount. That is a question that I do not know yet, and we're probably not going to know until the game comes out. So for now, just pick very, very, very wisely as to what you want to pick. Knowing me, I'll probably stick with my ever so lovely faithfuls that I always use. Oh, I got all three. That's why she was doing that. I never knew that. Well, first time for everything. So, one last thing, this is also a great place to lab certain setups. So let's go to the weapon I usually use this kit for. The heavy splatling deco. It's somewhere in here. Here it is. So, yeah, this is the kit I typically use it for. And this is a great place to lab if you're not sure like how many abilities you need to stack for a weapon. Anything like that. So, it's a great place to do that. I'm just having fun in here. Don't mind me. I like messing around in here. Anyways, on to our next tip. Alright, so for our fourth tip today, we're going to be talking to somebody out here in the plaza. This little sea urchin right here named Merch. Well, in Splatoon 3, he's certainly not small anymore. That man got a fucking upgrade. And he looks nearly different. He looks very fucking different, but then again, that's what puberty does to you. Anyways, what Merch here can do for you is give you a way to use Super Sea Snails. And Super Sea Snails are a great but finite resource in this game. So, how do you get them? A few people have asked me this. So, originally, we would be able to get these through Splatfest, and how many you get depends on your rank and if your team wins at the end of each Splatfest. Unfortunately, now that Splatfests are all done and said with, we don't really have a good way to get a huge stock of them. So the only other way you can get them is by talking to Judd whenever you level up. And you will know when you're ready to get another Super Sea Snail if you see an exclamation point above Judd's head. That way you know to go talk to him and get that Super Sea Snail. So, why do I say use your Super Sea Snails wisely? They are a finite resource, so that basically means don't waste them all in one thing. Early on in the game's lifespan, when we do not have as many Super Sea Snails as, say, we do now, like right now I have 155, but that's because, you know, I've been playing a lot and I've been doing a lot of things with them. That's why maybe the number may look a little low. But I used to have like about 200 before I had to do slot rerolls all the time. So early on, you're going to have to make some hard decisions if you want to increase the slots on your gear. I don't care, buddy. So like here, with this piece of gear, if I want to add some slots onto it, I certainly can, but I need to make absolutely sure this is a piece of gear I want to use going forward and all that, because if it's not, then that's kind of a waste of your time and your resources, and that would suck, especially in the beginning when, again, we kind of have a little bit of a finite resource. So think very, very carefully of what you decide to do with these, because after you use them, they're gone for good. You can't get them back. So just be very wise about your decisions here, because, well, it's going to help improve your game at the cost of some really, really good resources. So my last tip for the day is going to be a small one, but also a very important one. Have fun. At the end of the day, it's always just important to just have fun with whatever game you're playing. Whether you're playing competitive or casual, that's all up to you, whether or not you want to play this game competitively or casually. But in the end, just make sure you're having fun, because if you're not having fun, what's the whole point of playing, right? So it's very important to just keep a cool head, don't get yourself too absorbed over if you win or lose. It's just, at the end of the day, just have fun. Learn from your mistakes if you make a mistake. That's what learning's all about, and that's how you improve. You just learn from your mistakes and get better with each passing match. So that's just mostly, you know, a typical tip, but I feel it's still very important to get the message across for you guys. So those are all my tips for you guys, but before we do end it off, I do have a few things I would like to say. So be sure, if you guys are on the fence about getting this game, do try out the Splatfest World Premiere for Splatoon 3 that is going to be coming out this Saturday. Times depending on your time zone, of course. And participate in the Splatfest. See if you like the game, see if you want to pick it up, because this is a hard game for me to recommend to people because there's no discounts, there's no demos, no nothing with it. I wish they did like what other games did and did a like Splatoon light version of it where you don't pay for the game and you get to test it out and see if you like it, and then you can go purchase the full version. I wish they did something like that to help people that want to play the game later in the game's life cycle and decide, hey, this is what I want to play, without having to shell out $60 for the game and then not liking it and feeling like they wasted their money. That is something I really, 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 really hoped they would do. But if you haven't already, please pre-order the world premiere demo if you are on the fence about getting this game, so you guys can experience the magic of Splatfest with me. And speaking of such, I will be streaming the world premiere Splatfest I'm trying to remember the date, August 27th, the day it comes out, but the time will have to depend on when I get off work that day, because it just kind of fluctuates and everything. So I will let you guys know on Twitter, so if you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, please go do so at twitter.com/seethroughlight. I will probably put like a little link on the top or on the video for you guys to check out and everything, and it's also in the description below. So I hope you guys do like this video, and I hope you guys are possibly excited for me to be back. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be back to doing videos, but this is going to be hopefully the step in the right direction that I need to doing videos again, but we'll see how that goes. So I know this was a very quick video, but you know, you gotta go with the flow, gotta make it fast and all that stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I'm just spewing shit out of my ass. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time!